I'm Eric Engdahl, Chair of the Department of Teacher Education at Cal State East Bay. Today I want to talk to you about the expectations for your second field placement experience. If you are a multiple subject candidate, you probably have already started your second field placement, and you probably started that around Martin Luther King Day. For winter quarter, you should be in that placement 3 mornings and 2 full days a week. You very definitely should be leading group instruction during that time and gradually taking on more and more responsibilities as the classroom teacher. On April 3rd, you're going to transition your student teaching to 5 full days a week. That is all of spring quarter. So you will be there 5 full days a week, and you should be leading up to a 2-week takeover where you do solo teaching. Our preference very strongly is that you do 2 consecutive weeks, 10 days of solo teaching. However, if for some reason school schedules, the schedule with your cooperating teacher, require you to break up that solo teaching into discrete chunks that are smaller, that is acceptable. But please work that out with your supervisor. You will be in that student teaching placement then through the K-12 school year. Remember, this is a big job interview, and what you do during this second placement period is really important to your future and very likely employment. If you are a dual credential student, that is in the TED-SPED program, you would have started your second student teaching right at the beginning of winter quarter. Again, you should be there 3 mornings and 2 full days a week. You do a 1-week solo takeover before the end of winter quarter. That ends your teacher education fieldwork. In spring quarter, you are assigned fieldwork in special education by the Department of Educational Psychology and the Special Ed Department. If you are a single subject candidate, you started your student teaching placement probably, most likely, around Martin Luther King Day. You are there 5 days a week, 3 periods a day, 3 hours a day. Unlike fall, you should be beginning to lead instruction in 2 hours and assisting in 1 hour. On April 3rd, the first day of spring quarter, you transition to being there 5 days a week, 5 hours a day. Again, there's a 2-week solo takeover time that you should be solo teaching for 10 consecutive days. As I said earlier, if for some reason school calendars don't allow you to do a 2-week takeover, as long as you have 10 days in discrete chunks, that is acceptable. And again, you're going to clear it with your supervisor to make sure that it works for everybody. The biggest challenge for all of you in spring placements, winter spring placements, I should say, is time management. During winter quarter, you all have to be working on your PACT. I hope that you have already started to outline your units, that you have talked to your cooperating teacher, your master teacher, about when you're going to be teaching your PACT, that you've sent the video permission slips home to get them signed. In February, you should be planning to videotape your lessons and start writing the PACT. I really urge you to start writing the PACT as soon as you can. As a PACT assessor, I can tell you that when I read PACTs, I can tell when the candidate has run out of time, what it is that they're still writing at 9 o'clock on the evening that the PACT is due. Don't let that happen to you. Where candidates fail, the PACT is where they don't give themselves enough time to get it done. So really give yourself plenty of time. One more thing about the PACT that you've heard, and we can't say it too often, when you were writing your responses to the PACT, really read those rubrics and respond to what the rubrics are asking for as you write your PACT. Then, once you have Put the pact in, that's April 2nd, the day before you start full-time teaching. You need to be planning your time because being there full-time is quite different than being there the amount of time you've been up to this time, especially if you're planning for a 2-week solo takeover. So again, it's about time management. It's about planning. It's about getting ready to be in the classroom and be successful. That's probably the most important skill that a teacher needs. Let me just say one other thing about jobs and the future. You are getting emails from me probably constantly when I'm talking about job fairs and jobs that are available. You are very much in demand. That means that you need to be professional, you need to be prepared, you need to be willing to impress people. Even though there's a lot of jobs out there, you really won't find the jobs that is right for you. So always be ready to talk about yourself, to talk about your skills as a teacher. Don't necessarily take the first job that you get. There's a lot of jobs out there. Think about them carefully. Remember, once you sign a contract, you are committed to being in that school next year. It's very difficult, very hard to get out of contracts once they're signed. The other thing that you need to plan for is making sure that you can do your Standard 7 TPE 13. If you haven't done it, we want to make sure that you are prepared to teach English learners in the state of California. If you have any questions, the first person that you should always contact is your supervisor. Ask your supervisor any questions. If you don't feel comfortable in talking to your supervisor, Kelly Moore for multiple subject, Danya Massey for single subject, and of course you can call me at any, you can call and email me at any time. So have a great second placement, and I'll see you around.